Hey everyone, I have a new video on a whole bunch of really cool Resin molds. I have an Resin mold giveaway, and at the end I have a surprise project that my husband made, his first resin project, actually his second, but the first one I haven't made the video of yet. This one I'm not making a video of, but turned out really cool. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So I hope you stick around and watch. So I have a whole bunch of different turtle molds, and the majority of them are from Resin, and they're all different sizes, super cute. Most of them I have not tried before or poured any resin in before. So this first one that I have is the large turtle mold, and I mix up my resin. The resin I'm using for this project is the CRAFTOR resin. And I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm mixing it off camera, but the colorant I put in is actually a colorant from Dr. Martin Bombay India ink. All my resin for molds through the bubble removal machine. And if you put a colorant in the resin and you have it too high in a cup, you risk it bubbling over. That's why I put them in separate cups. So these next three little turtles are all encased in one mold. Super cute. They both have, all three of them have special effects on them, as well as the large turtle mold that's sitting there. And I take some of the Dr. Martin Bombay India ink, the color grass green, and mix it in with the resin. This Dr. Martin Bombay India ink, the color grass green, I use all the time. It's really hard to find a colorant that is a true green to color your glass. The alcohol inks, of course, do, but this particular product does not bleed or fade. You don't have to worry about is it or is it not going to ruin my artwork when you're using it for glass. So I just fill them with the green colored resin, and then move on to the large one because I've taken the resin out of the bubble removal machine and filled that up. And I believe this turtle took about 5 ounces of resin. So next I have 3 more molds, 2 more turtle and 1 large shell mold. So the turtle, the large turtle one that I haven't put resin in yet, it was the giveaway last month, and Judy won that. And the one below that, the large shell mold, is going to be the giveaway for this month. And then the little turtle, tiny little round turtle mold there, I've used before, but I just have it out there for as an extra to show you guys, because I think this one is the perfect size for a nightlight. This would work really well. And here I'm just showing you the different colors I used. The first one is the Dr. Martin Bombay India ink, and the color is actually green that I used on that large turtle, but it's actually more of a blue green. And then, of course, on the 3 smaller turtles I had shown you, I used grass green. And then here I have something called Crushed Crystal from Unicorn Art, and this is super pretty. If you just put a little bit in your resin, it'll give it a real sparkly effect. If you put a lot of it in it, it'll turn it to a sparkly white. So I have my resin mixed up. I'm putting the Unicorn Art Crushed Crystal in both of them, mixing them up, and then putting them in the bubble removal machine. And then when it was ready, I just poured it in, and I believe this took a total of about 11 ounces. So this is a really large mold, but it's super pretty. Wait till you see when it's done. And then I have a little dotting tool because it does have a lip on it, and I went around the edges with the dotting tool to make sure there wasn't any bubbles stuck under there, and I did spray it with some isopropyl alcohol to get rid of the bubbles. So this next part I have way and fast forward. I had a lot of resin left that had the crushed crystal in it, and I decided to use it, I think, for that great big turtle there. And in addition to the crushed crystal being in it, I put some of the grass green Dr. Martin Bombay India ink in it. And then I ended up putting a little bit of the blue in it too, or it's called green, but it looks kind of blue-green, the color I did the other turtle. And I mixed that all in and put that in the bubble removal machine. And then when that was done, I poured that into the other large turtle. So this one has the green and the crushed crystal, and this looks super pretty. At least it looks super pretty from the back. I don't know what it's going to look like from the front. So I got all those moved over, and now I have some more turtle molds. I'm going to be doing all the turtles. So this first one is actually called a shaker mold, and that's the top of it I just took out, and the bottom. And that little piece, which is the top of the back of the turtle, is what you put over. You put something in the little shaker and then put that on the top and seal it. So that's going to be real cute. I have never made a shaker mold before. I think some people put a liquid in it, but I don't know if I'm going to mess with that this time, but we'll see once it's done. And then this is another turtle mold, 2-piece. It's like a little container, so that should be interesting. I'm going to try to do something different with that one. And then this very last one is a set of 4 turtles, also from Into Resin. So I guess every single one of these molds are from Into Resin. So these last ones that I pulled out, especially the ones that aren't the handmade ones, are a lot less expensive than the handmade ones. So these are a little bit more affordable. But these little tiny turtle ones are super cute. So as you can see, I have a whole bunch of stuff set out here. My plan is to use the pearls, the different colored pearls, in the larger turtle. And so I have my resin in the bubble removal machine, and now it's ready to go, bubble free. Pour it in and start putting my beads in. So my plan was to cover the entire perimeter with the beads and the top with the beads. But soon after I start putting all of this in, so along the perimeter I have to put the smaller beads. There I do have some quite large white beads, but the perimeter has to have the smaller beads because the large beads will not fit in there. So anyway, after I get all of these beads in there along the perimeter and up into the feet and the tails and the head, I use all the smaller beads. And I have no idea where I got these beads from. I've had them for years. They're pearls, little pearls. Then I start taking a combination of the small beads and the large beads and putting them on the back. And soon after I put them on there, I realize they're just going to be too tall. They're just not going to work. And so unfortunately, I have to start taking them all back out. And the ones that I do take out, I end up putting into the back or the top of the turtle tray, I guess you'd call it, container, tray, whatever. I just start putting them all in there because I realize I'm going to just have to have resin on the back, or else it's just going to be too tall. So once I get the bottom part of the turtle tray all straightened out with just the beads or the pearls around the perimeter and in the feet and whatnot, then I start finishing up the back of the turtle. And with the back of the turtle, I'm going to add enough pearls to it just so that there's a single layer with resin and that there's some room up on top to top it off after this has started to cure. So once the bottom and the top of the turtle are all situated, I take them over to the resiner's curing machine, put them in, and set it for around 400 degrees for a couple hours. And then while that's curing, with the rest of the resin, I start working on my other turtles. So for these other turtles, I'm going to be using a couple different products. One, I'm going to be using a mica powder. And for the other turtles, I'm going to be using the Let's Resin Chameleon flakes. I think they're called Intense Chameleon flakes. And you can see me mixing them in to the resin. So for two of them, I actually just mix the chameleon flakes in the resin and pour them into the turtle. And then for 2 of them, I use the mica powder mixed with resin and pour them into the turtles. One the shaker turtle and one from the set. And then I pour some clear resin into the top of the shaker. That's going to be the back, and you need to be able to see through it to see what you put in. And then for the very last turtle, I'm taking these intense chameleon flakes and painting them on the turtle, and then I'm going to pour resin in. And I'm actually using the one that I already have mixed with the chameleon flakes, just so that I don't waste it. And then where I've poured the clear resin, you can see I overfilled it, so I'm wiping it off the top with a popsicle stick because it's a very small area to fill. So these other chameleon flakes that I have are the Let's Resin original chameleon flakes that I'm mixing in with the remaining resin. These chameleon flakes are very light, almost white, but iridescent, and of course they change colors. They're super pretty. I've used them for years. I use them all the time, actually. So the resin that was sitting over there that I just put the chameleon flakes in sat for about a half an hour unheated. Whereas the ones that are in the resiner's curing machine, you can see it has an hour and 28 minutes left. So they have been in there for a half an hour heated. So it has already started to gel up. So I'm going to put my second layer on. I don't want to waste this resin, and I'm going to have to mix up some more. But I poured this over the top of the turtle. And then, of course, I'm going to have to mix up some more to fill up the back of the turtle. But that's a good way if if you have resin left over and you need to make a second layer on something, because it can sit out. The Bondcrafter resin has like a 45-minute work time. As long as you don't have it too deep in a cup, it can sit out for a half an hour while you're waiting for the other resin to cure up if you have it on a curing table or in the resiner's curing machine. So like I said, the turtle and the back has cured up enough that I can pour the uncured resin into this. So it's just a little trick. So I mixed up some more resin, put the Let's Resin chameleon flakes, the original ones, in with it, mixed it in, put it through the bubble removal machine, and poured it into the back of the turtle. So remember, we use the intense chameleon flakes, which are really dark, on those little turtles. And this is also the Let's Resin chameleon flakes, but these are the original ones. And this is super pretty too. I use these all the time. I'm almost out also. I need to get some more. Let's Resin if you're listening. Anyway, so once I got that poured in, I just cover it up and let it cure for the rest of the remaining minutes. And then a few hours later, when it's all cured and cooled down, I demold it. And it's still a little bit soft. I probably could have waited a little longer to take it off, but I was anxious to see what it looked like with the pearls. I thought it was going to be so pretty. And I also had I had a little bit of the resin left with the chameleon flakes, and I poured that swan there. The bottom turned out real pretty, and then this is the top, and this is kind of difficult to get out of here. It was a little bit of a struggle. Not too bad, but that's pretty too. Isn't that cute? I think that's really cute with the beads. I thought I'd try to do something different instead of just, regular colors. I'll probably do another one. And the, I don't know if you can tell, but you can see the chameleon flakes on the bottom and all the way around the perimeter of the top too. Looks real pretty. So I think that's cute. And this bottom is sharp, so I'm going to have to use the deburring tool and clean that up. But it fits perfect. It fits perfect in there. And then here's the little swan. This is super pretty. And this is, the thinner your item is, the longer it takes to cure. I don't know if you know that. but that turned out real pretty too. So the bottom of it is, the bottom of the top is sharp. So I just got out my deburring tool, and it's super easy to do. Just went around the perimeter. You can see the little shreds coming off of it. And some of these resin pieces, they can really be sharp. You could actually cut yourself. So it's really important that you look at it, especially if you sell your artwork. You have to make sure that nobody's going to cut themselves while they're looking at it. So I just went around the perimeter with it real quick, and it was done. And now we'll demold the rest of them. Yeah, I'm kind of anxious to see what those little tiny turtles look like. So the first one, so of the four, the first one is the one with the mica powder. And this is pretty. I like using mica powder. Mica powder can sometimes not be a real even effect, but on this it pretty much is. That's a real cute little turtle. And then these two here were the ones where I took the intense chameleon flakes and I just poured it in it. So that's okay. I'm not really thrilled about it. It's just okay. It's sparkly. And then, oh my gosh, look at that one. That's the one that I painted it on. Remember, I painted the intense chameleon flakes. It's not called chameleon powder, it's chameleon flakes. And I painted that on the turtle mold. So this is what the package of the chameleon flakes looks like. Oh, you didn't see it very long. But I just think that's so pretty. It has like a mirror effect. It's so pretty. I just can't get over it. I am going to have to do something else with those. Yeah, chameleon flakes, intense. So this is it. No, I don't think that's the one. I think it's the other one. Yeah, it's this one that I'm taking out now. So this is the other one. So these are the chameleon flakes that I painted on. Only those, the one I poured in, they're the same color, and that one I painted on. Look at what a difference. That is so cool. I'm going to have to try the other ones, painting them on something, just to see what they look like. They are so pretty. So that's those four. And then the last one that I have to do is the shaker mold. So like I said, I've never made a shaker mold before. And this one I did with the same mica powder that I did one of those other turtles. So, I mean, these are super easy to do. And there it is. That's cute. And then that's the back of it. And you just glue that on, but I have to find something to put in there. I don't know, maybe we could make it into a keychain or something. I'm not sure. It's so pretty. Yeah, this one's my absolute favorite. I still can't get over it. It is so pretty. I'm going to have to figure out something else to do with that, somehow to work it into glass art or something. So, and then this is the last turtle. This one I've showed you guys before. This is super sparkly. I wish I would have made it a little darker green though. But isn't that a pretty mold? All right, and then we have the other mold that has the three little turtles in it. And these are super cute. I don't know if you can buy them separate or not, but this one is my favorite. I like that effect on it better than the teeny tiny sparkly one. But there's, I mean, they're all pretty. How can you not like them? That's number 2. And number 3. And this one I had over poured it, so I got to clean that. And the best way to do that, well, after if it's too soft, you can probably pull it off. After about a day, you can use a deburring tool, but if it's real hard and it's sat for over a day or so, if you use these nail clippers, I don't know if these are animal nail clippers or what they are, but they are nice and strong and they clip that resin off real easily. So those are all done, and we'll move on to the bigger turtles. Can't wait to see them. So the first one that I'm going to demold is this, it's kind of like a blue-green, I guess. Well, the head looks kind of funny, doesn't it? Oh, that is so pretty. That looks like glass, doesn't it? I think that looks like glass. That would look real pretty just clear also. So you don't really, this is the, oh no, this isn't the one that I did the sparkles in. It's this one over here. So this is the one that I have the crushed crystal in. From the back it looks really pretty. I don't know if you can notice it from the front. Oh, I guess you can. Boy, it just has so many sparkly effects in it. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that. I think I could maybe, boy, I wonder, this would be look real pretty in different colors. Like if you did different layers of different colors. I think I might try that. That is so pretty. And that has a little lip on it too that's kind of sharp. But just a little bit. And you can see, just go around it with the deburring tool and it comes right off. Yeah, that is so pretty. So next is the big shell. So this is the giveaway mold. This thing is huge. So this one was a little bit difficult to get out. I kind of struggled with it a little bit, but it did come out. And really I should have gloves on. They say that it's in your best interest when doing these, when demolding the handmade molds, to wear gloves if you're going to touch the inside of it at all. And if you're going to touch the inside of the mold, even if you're not demolding, like cleaning it or something, you should be wearing gloves. So I did eventually get it out, and look at how pretty this is. This would look pretty in a light blue color too. Isn't that pretty though? Oh, I just love it. So yeah, this is the giveaway mold. If you'd like to enter the contest to win the shell mold, just put in the comments, I would like to win the shell mold, and put a smiley face emoji after your comment so that I know you've seen the video. So it had a little sharp edge around the bottom, so I just used the deburring tool and cleaned that up, which was super easy, and it was done. Isn't that pretty? I think that is so pretty. So because I thought that one turtle that I painted with the chameleon flakes was so pretty, I had to try the other 4 containers of chameleon flakes. So I took those same 4 little turtles and painted all 4 of them the 4 other colors that I hadn't tried yet, painted on the little turtles. So BondCrafter now has a black epoxy resin that's really nice, and I went ahead and mixed that up and poured that into the turtles. Now some chameleon powders or mica powders look different when demolded when you back them with a black resin or a light colored resin. But I did both in this video, and later on I'll show you one that I backed with a white resin. These chameleon flakes look the same whether you back it with clear, black, or white. So just for your information. So anyway, like I said, I mixed up the black resin, poured it into the turtles. And then you'll see me set down the shaker mold again. And for this one, I used that same green color chameleon flake that I used for the very first turtle that I was shocked at when I demolded it, how pretty it was. So I did another shaker mold and then backed that in black again. I also used the chameleon flakes and painted, or put them on, brushed them on I should say, the bottom of the turtle mold. This is the turtle mold that I had done the pearls in prior to this. And then I poured black resin over it and put all of them in the curing machine. So in the meanwhile, after those had gelled up, I took some thumbtacks and stuck those in the back and then let them cure the rest of the way. And each and every one of them turned out so pretty. I'm just shocked at how pretty and mirror-like the chameleon flakes are. The Intense Chameleon Flakes by Let's Resin. So I have 2 turtles ready to go, and the first turtle, I'm just going to pour clear resin in. Remember, this is the one that I did in the blue, and I said, oh, I bet that would look pretty with a clear, just a clear resin. So I just fill that with the clear resin. And then the other turtle, I don't know if you remember me saying that might look real pretty if I did layers of different colors. So this one, I just poured the first layer, and the first layer is blue. And then poured a turtle and a swan with the rest of the remaining resin. So Judy from our Facebook group, who won the turtle mold, was asking, saying that this turtle had some eyes on it and maybe we should put some black on the eyes. And then I got to thinking, well, maybe it would look pretty if we put some gold or silver and decorate it around the perimeter of the turtle, because it has all these little jewels. So these are the Resiners chrome markers. Comes with 4 different markers. I think they have a bunch of different packs. But anyway, these are super pretty. And I went ahead and just decorated this up. And also I did put some gold on the eyes, but I'm almost thinking I need a black dot in the middle of the eyes also. But these markers, you just go over it once, and then if you need to go over it a second time, you need to wait till it's completely dry, or it will pull up the old marker from it. But I think that's real pretty with that on it, don't you? So after that had gelled up, I poured a second layer, and this time it was yellow for the turtle. And then I decided to make a few nightlights out of these little turtles. So two of the turtles are sea turtles. They have the long sea arms, and the other turtle is not a Florida turtle or sea turtle. I guess it could be a Florida turtle, it's just not a sea turtle. So these nightlights I picked up on Amazon. I took the Let's Resin, UV resin, and just put some at the bottom, and then I took some crushed shells and sprinkled that along the bottom. And then I put a little bit more resin on the top of it and put the UV light on it to cure it all in place. This Resiner's UV light is really nice because it has a light at the top and the bottom, and the top level is very adjustable. You can bring it down really low or have it a lot taller for a taller mold or whatever you might be doing. Next, I took some shells and some starfish and some more UV resin to hold those all in place and put those at the very bottom. And then next, Bond Crafter has some new UV resin. It's regular and pearlescent. So I used the pearlescent, the 2 different color blues, the light blue toward the bottom and a darker blue toward the top. And I even mixed some clear UV resin in with the 2 to kind of make them mix easier. Their pearlescent UV resin is very thick, and it's really nice because you don't have to worry about it, you know, pouring over the edge of anything you're working on. But the clear UV resin helped to move it around just a little bit. So I kind of mixed them up a little bit on both of them. And then I also took some white pearlescent UV resin and drew a line at the very bottom and kind of swirled that around a little bit to make it look like some waves. I don't know how good of a job I did with that, but it looked okay. And then I put the turtles back on and put the UV light on. So they actually turned out really cute, I think. The mixing of the blues really made it look like water. And I actually did a couple other nightlights. I'll show you those at the end. So remember, just before this, I painted the bottom of the turtle, the original one that I had done with pearls, but this time I did it with the chameleon flakes, intense chameleon flakes, the bottom of the turtle, and this is the top of the turtle, and I'm just putting a thin layer of clear resin on it, and I'm going to do flowers after this hardens up or gels up. So when I took the top off to put the flowers on top of the the back of the turtle. I was hoping it had gelled up, but it had totally hardened. So if it's just gelled, the flowers will stick there, and you don't have to worry about when you pour your next bit of resin that they won't float up. So you have to be careful now. And after I put those down, I poured another layer on top of the turtle. So this is layer number 3. It was blue, yellow, then pink. And then I poured some more resin over the flowers, but I had to keep on coming back, checking it and pushing the flowers down. And there's enough room to put another layer of resin on top of that, just in case any of them float, because you don't want any of the flowers sticking out the back. And here I'm just using this rose gold metallic markers from Resiners to paint the swan's crown, and also it has some jewels on its wings, and it looks real pretty when it's painted with a metallic marker. So I decided I was going to paint the back of the resin with the Let's Resin Intense Chameleon flakes, the same color that the bottom of it is, the green. And this is when I figured out that you can't paint resin with chameleon flakes or any kind of mica powders. You can only paint the molds. So I did not know that. So I learned something new. So I had to clean it off and figure out something else to do. And then the last layer that I poured on top of the turtle, I believe, was purple. So then I decided it would probably just look pretty just like that on top of the turtle mold. So all I have to do is pour another layer of resin then. And that's what I did. It just needed a little bit more resin to top it off. And with the extras, I made another swan. I'm going to have so many swans, I have no clue what to do with them all. And I also did another one of the shaker molds. And this one I actually backed in the white with the white resin so that you can see what the difference was. And actually I don't see any difference, whereas with regular chameleon flakes and mica powders you can see a difference with the outcome whether you put white or black on it. But with these intense chameleon flakes I don't see the difference. So here's my turtle that I put all the different colors in, and it depends on how you look at it. When you look at it from the top, I don't think it looks as pretty. The colors blend, but when you look at it from the sides, it really looks pretty. And I'm wondering if there's a better way to arrange the colors that it would look prettier. I'm wondering if I should have put the yellow at the bottom. But anyway, I think it's super pretty, and I'm going to put some silver metallic marker on the star and going around the perimeter on the jewels. And there's the pink swan. I have a couple dozen swans I don't know what to do with. And then this is the shaker mold backed with the white, and it looks identical to the one that's backed with the black. So I had poured a half or a cabochon like out of resin, and that one's backed in black, and they really do look pretty much identical, but I think it's super pretty. And next I demold the top to the turtle, and I'm really bummed out because as I'm taking it out, I'm finding all these big bubbles around the edge. I never thought to go under and around the perimeter to knock any of the bubbles out. I forgot all about it for some reason. And look at those. So I'm going to try to fill them with UV resin to make it look a little bit better at least. But it really looks pretty on top of the turtle. It's too bad it ended up with so many bubbles. Isn't that pretty? I really like the way that turned out. Even with the top on, you can see the little bubbles around there. Not little bubbles, they're big bubbles. What I did was I just took this little resin, UV resin container, and in each of the large bubbles I put UV resin and put the UV light on, and it didn't make it perfect, but it sure helped. It made it look a lot better. So next time I'll remember to go around the perimeter to get rid of the bubbles. And then I spent the next 10 minutes doing that to every single bubble. And these weren't tiny little bubbles. These were huge bubbles. I couldn't believe it. And I'm not going to bore you with it all. I'm putting the whole thing in fast forward. Then here I had gotten a bunch of bubbles in them, so I'm using the lighter to get some of the bubbles out. And here I'm just showing you, these are the 3 shaker molds that I ended up making. And I put in each of them some of this chunky white glitter, and that's just glitter from Michaels. And then I also put some little teeny tiny pearls in each of them. And some people, like I said, make shaker molds where they have a liquid in there too, and when they shake it up, the things kind of float around. But I think this is kind of cute like this. I think, I don't know, you could make this into a necklace, a magnet, just give it to a little kid, I guess. I think they're really cute. I would like one. And push pins, and you'll see in a minute I made some of my turtles into push pins for your bulletin board. And then here's the little top for it, and it's best to put the glue around the top and not on the turtle. It sits in a funny spot because there's kind of an indent or a groove where you think the clear part would sit, but it doesn't. It sets up a little bit higher. So here I'm just using the B7000, carefully going around the outer edge there with it, because you don't want any of the glue to get into the shaker stuff. And then I just pick it up and set it down the opposite way on top. And then you just have to let it set there. Don't shake it or anything for a little while. You don't want any glue to get in there. And I do the same thing with the other 2. And here's my turtle top. It does look a lot better than it did. It's harder to see the little holes. So here's the turtle that I did in the clear, and isn't that pretty? It looks just like glass to me. I think that is so pretty. And then I had made some more turtles, and these had gelled up, so it was super thick. So I got these little push pins, and I decided to use the clear ones because these turtles are a little bit translucent, and I just stuck them in there, and I thought those would be really cute for my bulletin board above my desk to have some little turtles in there holding my papers up. So then I was trying to figure out how to hang these, and one of the ways I thought of was using this little screwdriver. I have this, not screwdriver, drill. It's a hand drill that you just turn yourself, and I put a hole on each side of the turtle's head. And then just put this little, I don't even know what you call it, I got them on Amazon, to hook into each of the holes, and then you can hang it from jewelry or keychain or whatnot. But I'm thinking these might not be as sturdy as those bail blanks. So anyway, but I wanted to try them. I had got them on Amazon a while back. I actually ended up putting a smaller one on, but I think I had drilled the holes crooked, so this is the first time I've ever done it. So this one is a little lopsided. I don't really like the way that one looks, but it's okay for now. Then I decided for another turtle just to glue one of these bail blanks on the back. And I think these look a lot nicer. And you can even attach these while the resin is still curing, and then it would be permanently adhered. So that's with the B7000. Hey everyone, so normally I have my back facing camera on, and I can actually see myself talking, and I can see when I bring something up to the camera that it's in the sight of the camera. But for some reason my back facing camera is all foggy and my front facing camera is nice and clear, so I have to do it this way. So hopefully I'm just gonna wing it and hopefully you can see me. So anyway, when I started, whenever I start doing molds, I think I'm gonna do one of each and then put the video out, edit and put the video out. But I start doing one and thinking I could do it another way, and it turns from one day into a week with all the editing and whatnot. So, but I'm having fun doing it. Molds are so addicting. Once you start, for those of you who've never done a mold, it is crazy how addicting it is. Just like the glass art. So anyway, the turtle This is one of my favorite ones. I thought I was going to be able to put the same color chameleon flakes, intense chameleon flakes on the back of this to back it. But I think it just looked, and I wasn't able to do it. I have painted resin with mica powder mixed with this varnish after the fact. So I tried doing it with the chameleon flakes, but it did not work. It just went on too thin. So, but anyway, I think it turned out great. So it really, really the varnish in the powder form only goes onto molds. So just for your information, I learned something new. So anyway, I just think that's so pretty, like that being clear the way it turned out. And I also did the pearl one, which I think turned out real pretty. And unfortunately, well, you can't really see them that much now, but I had a whole bunch of bubbles around the edges, which I ended up filling with UV resin, which makes it look a lot better. They don't totally disappear. I could have done a better job. Then I could have sanded and then put UV resin all the way around the perimeter. Probably would have covered it up more, but I think the pearls are super pretty too. And these are the original chameleon flakes on the back. So the ones I used today on this one is the intense chameleon flakes. And you saw that I tried to put I did the intense chameleon flakes just as chameleon flakes. And then when I brushed it on, what a difference. I think these are just so beautiful with the mirror-like effect. So anyway, that was the difference with that, which I was surprised. And then this was the turtle from, I wanted to show you the back of this. So then when I did this one, poured the back of this, I did go around the lip to pull out any bubbles, and look at that, no bubbles. So that worked out good. I should have just done that with the other ones. So this was the giveaway mold last month, and Judy won this, and she was asking me about putting eyes on. Do we think it would look good? Because it has little bumps for eyes to make them black, but I made them gold, and then I also painted all of that, and I just think the gold adds a lot. I think these eyes probably could use a black dot in the middle or something. I don't know, but look at that sparkle. I think these molds are amazing. So, and then I decided I wanted to try it with the different colors, and I think you can really notice it more when you look at it from the side. And then from the top, not as much. But I think the different colors are pretty. I'd like to try it with some other colors. Maybe do the yellow at the bottom, and that would show up more, because I don't think the yellow shows up that much there. But look at the sparkle on that. And that one I did with the silver. These are the silver metallic markers from Resiner's Chrome Markers. They have some really nice chrome markers. There's 4 to this pack, but they have different packs. So anyway, that's a super pretty mold. And then the other turtle that we did was the, this is just not going to stand up. The other turtle that we did was the, so I did it in the blue first, and I thought, and it looks like glass to me. And then I thought, wouldn't that be pretty if we did it clear? And they're both beautiful. I think they're so pretty. I love the way those turned out. You can see if I can get these to stand up. And then the giveaway mold for this month is the seashell, which is super pretty. And nowadays they don't really use, how you used to have the bars of soap sitting by the sink. Now it's in the little push bottles. But this would be pretty sitting by your sink to put your rings in, or your earrings. I guess you could even put this by the kitchen sink to put your little scrubber in or something. It's so pretty though. Or you could just have it setting out. And then I decided I wanted to do it in 3 different colors, and I did blue, pink, and purple, which I didn't show myself pouring it, but they really were equal amounts. But the purple kind of took over. It looks really pretty how it's highlighting the edges. You can see more of the blue and pink when you look around the back. But I just think that's so pretty. I hope I'm showing you this all right. Let me see what it looks like in the camera. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think this is super pretty. And I told you in the video how to enter the contest. And then I made all these little tiny turtles, and these are the shaker ones. And I think these are so cute. I've never made a shaker mold before. And I'm hoping you could see these okay. Yeah. And I just put some little pearls and glitter in there. And I thought those were so cute. And then this one I put, I think you call it a bail blank on the back. And then you can put it, you know, for a keychain or for a little necklace for a kid. Or you could even wear it. I just thought those were so cute. And this one I tried to put, this is something else that I had found on Amazon. The little metal thing, I drilled holes in the poor little turtle's head and then hung that. But I kind of feel like this would be a lot sturdier. And you can even put these on while it's curing. You can set it, balance it on it, and it will be cured right into the resin. So that's another thing. So this was, I wanted to show you the one that I did that was white. Where did they all go? So this is it, backed in white, and then this is backed in black. And normally Chameleon flakes, regular Chameleon flakes or mica powders, when you back them in different colors, they will appear different when you demold them. But look at the heads on both of those. They both look like they're the same color. Hope I'm not holding it too close. So it really doesn't matter. With the intense Chameleon flakes, it doesn't matter what you back them with. And then these were the other little turtles that I did. And a bunch of these I put little push pins in. So aren't those cute? I think those are 3 different ones. Yeah. I put the push pins in, but this one I think I pushed in too far because look at, you can see it bumped out there. So be careful. I used some really long push pins and you didn't have to use those. You could use just the regular thumbtacks or something. But I thought those would be really cute on a bulletin board. So anyway, yeah, these are the different colors, and I was just shocked at how pretty these colors are and the mirror-like effect on them. I don't know where the other color is, but look at, they are just so pretty. And you can make all different things with those. You could make magnets or like the push pins or necklaces, a whole bunch of different things. I just think they're so cute. And then the difference between just pouring the Chameleon flakes in and painting it, that's the difference. And this really isn't very impressive like that, I don't think. Whereas the regular Chameleon flakes, the original ones, the light ones, are real pretty when you pour them into something, I think. So yeah, that's the difference. And then I made some night lights out of these. Where's my other nightlight? There it is. These were the little turtles, the little sea turtles I made night lights out of, and I thought those turned out cute. And I did make a couple more night lights. I made it with, this is the other turtle into resin mold that I think is super pretty. I don't know if I really like it on the night light. I kind of like the sea theme better. And then this was the tiny one. This was the first one I pulled out and was just shocked at how pretty it was. This is kind of tiny for a nightlight. It needs something else with it, maybe some flowers or something. But yeah, it's just so pretty. And then the swans. I have hundreds of these swans. Well, not hundreds, but a lot. Because I keep little molds next to my resin table so that when I have extra resin, I have something to pour it in. And these are just so pretty because you can put the metallic markers for the crown and for the little jewels on there. And they make real pretty night lights, I think. So these molds, like the little turtle molds from Into Resin, these are not handmade, so they're less expensive. This is, I think with my discount, maybe a little over $10. And this one might be like $13. This is a really nice mold with the discount. I have a 20% discount. I'll put the links under it, but it's a Crazy Glass Lady. And then this is the little mold, the shaker mold that's so cool. It's a 2-piece one. I don't know where the other piece is now, but yeah, this is a really cool mold too. So, and then what I did was I made little tiny resin cabochons and glued them to the top so I would know what they would look like when when they're demolded. So I think that's a good idea. I might do that with more of my other stuff. I'm just not used to working with a lot of mica powders, like painting them on. I have tried it, you know, a few different times on molds, but I'm not real experienced with it like a lot of other people who do molds. But I just thought these were so pretty. But yeah, Chameleon Flakes, Intense Chameleon Flakes by Let's Resin. I don't know who else makes these. I'm gonna have to find out. I'm trying to think what else I can tell you. Yeah, I think everything was so pretty. This is the mold for the 3 tiny turtles. I thought that was pretty cool too. And again, that's the giveaway mold. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you, I wanted to show you, and I looked back on the Facebook group to find out who asked me about it. And someone had said, and you couldn't really tell by the picture or the picture on Amazon how big they are. There is a measurement, but I guess I didn't pay attention. So they were asking, well, could we use these instead of vitrograph glass? So I ordered some, and I didn't realize they were so tiny. So this is the size of them, if you're wondering, and this is the size of vitrograph glass for a comparison. So, and I did put them over a candle and try to bend them, and they did bend. Let me find one. A lot of them broke, but they did bend, so you could use them for teeny tiny stems, which is what I'm going to end up using them for, because I'm not going to throw them out. But do I think they're worth the $10? No. So, I mean, if you guys do a lot of teeny tiny glass work, it's supposed to be for fused glass, I guess is what they use it for. So I wish I knew who had asked me that question. I'll try to look again. I looked on Facebook, I went way back, and I couldn't find the picture or the question. So so anyway, I hope you watch this video and see the answer. So I'm trying to think what else I can tell you. I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, I know what I did. I put one of these on the back. Yeah, I got these little hair clip things. Of course, I don't think you'd use that as a hair clip, but you could hook that onto something. I thought that was really cute. That was one of my pink ones. So anyway, I hope you, oh, I wanted to show you what my husband made. So I am doing a video on the table that he made, the little river table. He has like 8 hours of video, and I have to somehow condense it down to 15, 20 minutes at the most, and I will do that. But since he's been retired, because I told you guys that he retired, since he's been retired, he's been doing all this resin stuff. And it was like, I never even knew you were interested in it. So I want to show you the one, he made a little tray, and I was just shocked. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Don't mind my house, it's kind of a mess. So yeah, he took this tree, he saw this tray, and he thought, oh, that would look so pretty. He's got something on it now. He needed something on the ottomans because there's nowhere to set your drink. Let me put it like this so you could see it. So it had some oh, that's glare. It had some engraved areas on it. Let me see if I can show you like that. It has some engraved areas on it, and he put the resin in it. It wasn't UV resin, it was regular colored resin. He poured some areas he had to engrave a little bit more. And then he put the flowers on it. Isn't that pretty? And the color choices, I think, were so nice. I think he's better with colors than I am. But I just thought that was so cool. So anyway, yeah, he's made some other stuff too that I don't know if he's making videos or what exactly what he's doing, but he works on something every day. He's really enjoying his retirement. I thought he was going to drive me crazy, but we're doing okay. So so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel and enjoy the videos, please consider subscribing. I have over 400 glass and resin art videos, just all different things, step-by-step instructions, and Facebook group, amazing Facebook group, very helpful, kind people. Come check us out, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.